He didn't just talk about you guys come in Monday. How do you rebound, mentally just from a loss like that?
Yeah, it's definitely tough after a week like that and a loss like that. But the best way to come back from those is with a lot of energy and effort. Monday in the weight room and film, come ready to learn from your mistakes. I think we did a great job at that with everything from working out to the study of the game.
What were the main takeaways from the film that you took away from the defensive side of the ball and maybe even the secondary?
Technique is a big one. We had the right coverages a lot of the time, but we were just a little bit off in our technique, and that opened the window for some plays that shouldn't have been there. And then taking away the big plays, we can do a lot better job at that. Just eliminating the big plays. We had a lot of third downs, long third downs, and we let too many of those go by us and get off the field.
Seems like health is a big concern in the back end. I mean, who's not injured right now?
Yeah, everyone's dealing with something. Yeah, that's true. It's just I guess the name of the game. It's what comes with football, but it's always the next man mentality. And I feel like we have a great job. We've been doing a great job with that here, and I trust everyone in our safety room and every room that the next guy up is going to be prepared and be ready to go out and play.
Yeah, how big of a loss was it to not have Tanner and Camden out there this last week?
Oh, it's always a big loss to have those guys gone. It's sad to see them not be on the field. Tanner, he's a safety, and seeing him work all off season and put in the work that he's done, and kind of see him the last couple of weeks that pay off, and then just have that kind of taken away from him this week. That's tough to see your friend go through that.
You're a couple of days into practice now. What have you seen on film from Texas Tech?
A lot of RPO. They love the RPO. They have a couple quarterbacks in their system, but they have a good running back. I kind of think all Big 12 running backs are pretty solid. They all play similar, but they have a good back. But yeah, they'll go zinging out there, and then they will run the ball down your throat as well.
You talked about the running backs. How do you guys prepare defensively for two running backs almost averaging 6 yards per carry?
Physicality. Coach Hill speaks highly on that. It's just you got to be physical with these guys. You can't go up and just launch into their legs. They're going to bounce off and drift off. You have to come up and be physical.
As far as going back to TCU, it looked like there was an adjustment made even from the front. I don't know if you saw it, but hands getting into passing lanes, a lot of that quick game was successful inside routes, digs, slants.
Mm-hmm.
Was that schematic? Did you guys want to initially kind of give up inside and hope to be able to stop that run? It sounded like you guys were also stacking the box a little bit. Just talk about the game plan leading up to TCU.
The game plan, we didn't think that they were going to run so many in-breaking routes and cut in so much, and we kind of just called our plays in anticipation to play what we planned for, and we need to do a better job as players kind of adjusting to the game as the game goes on. We can't have a set mindset in stone when we come into the game. We have to be able to move on the fly, and I think that's something that we need to do better at this week and the following weeks is when teams are gashing us in one area of the game, we need to learn from that and adjust maybe in halftime, second quarter, when we're out on the bench talking to our coaches, talk to each other and tell them what we're seeing so we can fix it the next series out on the field.
What did you think of the defensive front getting their hands in passing lanes, though, and how effective was that?
It's always big when you got the big guys out there batting balls down. It's hard for the quarterback. It's intimidating when he feels that pressure and they want to release that ball. So it's good for us secondary guys. It helps us out, and it's whenever they do that, Coach Hill always preaches, go tap them on the helmet and let them know they're doing a good job.
Kalani mentioned losing Ben Bywater for the season. What opportunities does that present for Harrison Tiger going forward?
Man, Harrison, it's going to be some big shoes to fill, Ben. It's sad that we're going to be missing Ben. Ben's a great friend of mine, so it's hard to see him not be out on the field, but Harrison, he brings the energy. I wish you guys could see him in the locker room before games. That guy's a madman, and he brings the juice. He gets everyone excited to go out on the field, so I'm excited for Harrison. We all have trust in Harrison. We all know that he puts in the work, and he works really hard to be where he's at.
Another backup quarterback this week. How do you prepare not having that much film, or does it even matter really having film on a guy?
You prepare the same as it was the starter. Sometimes the backup can give juice to a team, and they can rally behind a backup. So we learned that last week. The backup last week came in and had a great game. So we're not going to take this lightly, and we're going to prepare just like it was anybody else, a nameless opponent. And so we're going to do everything we can to prepare for this game.
How do you approach kind of the doubters, right? You're a walk-on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's always people questioning. Let me get you real quick. You got a
no worries
right there, man. I got to look out for my walk-ons.
Yeah.
I want you to get bit. So, you know, how do you approach the people that doubt you, right? I mean, you hear it.
Yeah,
you know,
most
whether
definitely.
it's from media like us or from fans. What's your motivation? How do you approach your craft, your game, your mindset?
A lot of the talk is you just block it out and what other people say doesn't really matter. And I do agree with that wholeheartedly. If you let it affect you in that way, where it can be negative, then don't even listen to it. Don't go on social media. Don't listen to the radio, whatever. But for me, I personally kind of use it as fuel. I like when I hear, 26 he can't play safety. He's not built for it. He's not tall enough. He's not strong enough. And I use that as fuel. And if it ever has affected me negatively, I just have to check my mindset. And I've worked to get here where I'm at, and everyone else on this team has worked to get here. And I feel like we do a good job of that as a team. And Kalani preaches it all the time. Just we're a family here, and we're all we need as a family.
What's the message that your coaching staff gives you when you see attrition, whether it's injuries or when it's transfer portal in the middle of the season? What's the message your coaching staff has given you?
We got, 6 more weeks here? And just to focus on these 6 weeks to be a family and do everything we possibly can together to see where we can get at in 6 weeks. My mentality this week is let's have a perfect week. Do everything we possibly can do, and especially in the safety room, everything we can, and see what the outcome will be. Just kind of test it. Let's go test it and see what we can do this week. If we do everything perfect this week, we watch film extra, we practice extra, we get extra sleep, we eat healthy, stuff like that.
Sounds like there's always something to do.
Yeah, exactly. There's always something to do. If you're not getting better each day, that's on you.
I know it was a negative, but final thing for me, what were some of the positive things that you saw from your teammates when you went back and watched the film? Anyone individually that really stood out to you?
One player that stood out to me was Harrison Taggart. That guy flies around on the field. Like I kind of said in that pregame in the locker room, he's got that energy. He plays with that energy on the field. He'll come hit you. He had a big hit on kickoff and a couple hits on defense that kind of made everyone look. So, yeah, Harrison Taggart was one of the players that kind of stood out to me this week.
And then who do you expect to step up in the safety room with so many injuries that are kind of knocking your safeties down like flies?
All the guys, I have full trust in them. A big name that I think you guys will see a lot of is Crew Wakely. He's been doing a great job at practice, and all season he's been doing a great job, and he's been getting in and out, kind of been dealing with a little bit of injuries here and there. Nothing too serious, but I think Crew is primed for a big game this week, and it doesn't matter honestly who's on that field for the safeties. I have all trust in all of them, and I feel like any of them can go do just a good job.
And he's free safety, your strong safety, or is it
it's
kind of
mix and match,
mix
man.
And match, whatever
yeah.
is the best matchup.
He wants right, I want left, we'll go for it.
Thanks, Ethan.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you guys.